is not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
DJ Tyrone Lowe. Hello everyone, my name is Tyrone Lowe, owner of T. Lowe Video Productions, and today I have a special guest, somebody that I grew up with, from being a child, and he's here today. He's a legendary DJ. I give you Dr. ARN J. Welcome to the Legends, man.
Thank you for having me, brother.
It's real. I'm really flattered to have you here, man, because we have a lot of history together as far as
We
being
do.
personal and then the music.
Yes, we
So,
do.
you know, let's tell the viewers how you really got started in this, and actually with the craft.
Okay, well, we're talking like about 1978, 79. I took an interest in it from the time I was 14. I did my first party. I remember the exact date, October the 3rd, 1978. I was 15 years old.
Okay.
I did my girlfriend at the time, her Sweet 16 party. And I said, hey, this is pretty cool.
Right.
You know? And what I did, I put two component set turntables together. Remember the old component sets?
Yeah.
Put that together, click, click, and that's how I got my mix on then, you know,
Right.
like a drop cut, if you will. And from then on, I just saw more and more interest, and I said, I really love this, and I've been doing it ever since.
You know, you've escalated a lot as far as being a DJ. I've seen you, I've been there, and you're really on a high level right now, you know, and stuff. As far as equipment and stuff, I remember when I used to play in the parks, used to be there.
Yes,
And
yes.
stuff
yeah.
like that.
And vice versa.
Right.
And
you
vice
know,
versa.
You had Lefferts. You was doing Lefferts. I was
Yeah.
doing BCM Park back in the days. and,
Wingate also.
Exactly.
Wingate
All right.
also.
I never really went to Wingate to
Oh,
play there, but
yeah, Wingate also.
I've seen you all over, man. And it's funny because my grandmother only used to let him in my house. You know, and everybody else used to curse out because she didn't know him.
This is
you
true.
know, and,
This is true.
Because everybody that came in my house, I take her right down to the basement and be a boom, 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 you know. And she'd be like, no, you gotta go, you gotta go, you know. But, I'm really glad to have you here, man. So
Hey,
let's talk
thank
about
you for having me here.
let's talk about some industry stuff.
Okay.
You know, who inspired you to be a DJ? Huh?
Okay, well, of course, the great late Larry Levan,
Okay.
the great late Grandmaster Flowers, that was the two biggest influencers right there.
Okay.
And I'm observing them. What fascinated me about Flowers was his able to make sound, literally make it sing. He can take something out of nothing,
You sure could.
and boy, oh boy, you talk about making a sound system sing, this man used to do it with no problem, take component sets together, and it used to fascinate me so much. I was like, wow, are you serious, bro? And he's doing this, and he's done it for a long time.
It's funny that
God
you-
bless his soul.
It's funny that you mentioned Grandmaster Flowers because he's exactly responsible for who I am today.
Okay,
You know, he gave me my first break at Club Ecstasy.
a lot of
And,
us,
yeah.
a lot of us.
And
a
ever
lot of
since
us.
then, the doors had opened up widely for me as far as doing clubs, things of
Yeah.
that nature. You know, as being a DJ right now, you know, the music has changed a lot. Let's talk about that.
Wow, yeah. It's funny. I mentioned this in my bio too, that I can remember I've always fell in love with the orchestration, the big bands. Now it's like processed music,
Right.
samplers, and computerized digital stuff. I mean, I can remember the actual Dolby stuff that bands used to get together and do live takes.
Right.
And the music has evolved from that to the digital age. And for better or worse, that's what it is now. And I don't know. I just miss that big band sound.
Right.
You know, because let's face it, they'll never make music like that
No.
ever again.
Like Jimmy Dorsey and
Right.
those, that type of
Glenn
music.
Miller, Count Basie,
Yeah.
Duke Ellington. I mean, if you want to go back that far,
Yeah.
and also Miles Davis,
Exactly.
Charlie Parker, those jazz influences to modern day jazz, Grover Washington Jr., God bless his soul, and many others. I mean, from the music from that standpoint has really, really changed. Now, how can I put it? It's like
Well, I'm gonna say this. Like
disposable, if you will.
okay. When I first heard Paul Hardcastle,
Okay.
when he came out with Rainforest, and that's when Soul Sonic Force came into play as far as simulating that type of pattern.
Sure.
And I always wondered, how, African Bambaataa came up with that beat. But when I listened to Rainforest, I'm like, there it is.
Kraftwerk as well.
Yes, exactly.
Kraftwerk as well. With the Trans Europe Express computer game,
Numbers.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. So how do you feel about the music today, Arn? I mean, because you has transferred from vinyl
Yes.
to what it is today as far as MP3s.
Well, I actually went from vinyl to MP3 CDs, and now I have to confess I do digital with Serato for the convenience. Let's face it, carrying 1 million crates of records just doesn't do it anymore. We can't do that no more. Number one, we're too old.
Yeah.
The body breaks.
You're too old. You're too old. I'm never going to be
I'll take
old.
that.
My mindset is where
I'll
it's supposed to be.
I'll take that.
You know what
I'll
I'm
take
saying?
that. Well, I have the refuse to lose mentality anyway.
Okay.
But
You're old soul anyway.
from day one, baby, from day one.
And it's okay.
But hey, but I look at it like this time. I said, you know what? If I can, this was when I first converted to CDs, because as I gotten older, the crates shrunk down.
Right.
I used to bring like 10 crates of records to do parties. I brought that down to 6, down to 4.
Right.
And then I said, hey, you know what? I see a lot of people converting to CDs. Let me do that. And you can carry 10 crates in one big bag.
Right.
And just carry that. And then when I got open to Serato, I said, okay. That changed the game a
Yeah,
lot. That
it certainly
changed
did.
it changed the game a lot. And unfortunately, those that don't know the history with this craft, the history of DJs that had actually started with this
Right.
craft,
Yeah.
they take that for granted. And they just, it's like anybody can be a DJ. They take a laptop and that's
Right.
it. And no, that's not what it's about.
Okay. So
Those
tell the
who-
viewers what's it about, huh?
Those who know what it is, those who really know what it is, like we've just elaborated on with the vinyl and the actual mixing, the beauty of hearing 2 different records at the same time in unison. That is such a sweet, beautiful sound, man.
Yeah.
And this is what you got from the vinyl with the bass. Like we just talked about with the big band era. You hear the actual instruments.
Right.
Oh my God, so sweet, so sweet.
So, for the upcoming DJs that's coming out now, because I know you still play and everything. What
I
can
do.
you actually offer to them as far as, what can you tell them, to spice them up as far as, dealing with this craft?
Be a true student to your craft, period. Do your homework. Know the history. Know your history. In order to know where you're going, you have to know where you came from.
Right.
That's very important. That's a vital, vital piece of it. Because let's face it, Ty, a lot of people lose sight of that.
They certainly do, yeah.
They lose sight of that. No, they be, old school head, yeah. Well, no, hello. A lot of that music came from the old school that you're doing now.
Right.
It's like it's recycled. No, know your history.
A lot of them don't know that though.
No.
You hear a lot of original songs, and they think that it's an original, but it certainly isn't.
No, no, no.
You know, before we go forward, man, you know, I want to give a few shout outs, man, to some people we know.
I would love to do
JP,
that. I'd love to do that myself.
Sneaky B, you know, the Crown Heights crew from
Yes,
Brooklyn.
yes,
You know,
yes.
the crew from BCM Park. You know, here we are.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so anybody you want to shout out to?
Sure, I sure would. I'd like to shout out my cousin Big Mike. We started the Seventh Wonder Crew back in the day. That's
remember
we
that.
used to do Wingate Park, Lefferts Park. We done a few parks around town, block parties, endless block parties. We did a lot together. And he's starting to make a comeback. He spent a lot of money on equipment.
Okay.
And I showed him what to get. I showed him what to buy. And he's doing it. He's practicing. He's learning the Serato, and he's ready to go. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to DJ Lance. Big shout out to Mike C, DJ Mike C. We go back way back as well. Vaughn K, good friend of mine. Who else? Frankie D.
And that, you know, when you said all these names, man, it actually took me back to the zoo.
There you go. The zoo days was
Because
something
everybody
else, boy.
used to play at the
Yes.
zoo.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Yes, absolutely. The,
You know,
the zoo was incredible back in the
a lot of
days,
good
man.
history
A lot of
behind it,
history.
good memories
Yes,
as well.
yes, absolutely.
You know, so let me ask you a question. You
Sure. Mm-hmm.
know, as being a male DJ,
Yeah.
because when we was doing our thing, we didn't have female DJs at the time.
Very few.
Very few.
We had, but
Yeah.
not like it is now.
So what do you feel about that? I mean, as far as, you know, the equal opportunity now.
As long as they can play, go for it. As long as they can play. That's the way I feel. If they can make me move, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
So, let's talk about some of the places that you played.
Okay.
You know, and, you know.
Well, let's see. Very quietly, of course. Now, I've done the Shadow. I've done Ecstasy too back in the day. I've done Mahogany back in the day. The Blue Maze on occasion. You know, a little private stuff, but I was at the venues
Right.
doing those things. I even did Bentley's once.
Okay.
And I spent 3 months in Okinawa. The best time in my life.
I can imagine.
Oof.
I can imagine.
The love that
Yes.
they have for our music as a whole, and I'm speaking every genre imaginable. They love house, they love hip hop, they really love the hip hop and R&B, but they have a real deep love for the house. And I'm not talking any house, that good soulful house.
Right.
You know, that just grabs your soul, that just makes you get on the floor and let it loose, let your hair down, just go for it. They love that the most. That was pretty memorable. I'll never forget that. That was such a beautiful experience. And I said, hey, for the rest of my life, man, I'll always hold that memory right here. I've done many weddings, of course. Baby showers, christenings, birthday parties, endless of that. I'm doing a 70s theme party also for my coworker's mom in a couple of weeks. And her cousin offered to do it for free, and she said no, because I've played for her before.
Right.
And her family, and they love me. She said, no, I want him.
Let me ask you a question. Due to the fact that from where we came from to the competitive stage right now, have they just, you know, got right into your money situation, your finances? I mean, because back in the days, we were making money.
Of course.
And now, actually now, it's like very competitive to deal with people because you could charge a guy $500 and he can go right to Fort Greene Park and get somebody to pay for like $50. You know, that's a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
setback, you know,
Yeah.
as far as finances, you know, back in the days, unless you're, you know, like me, traveling, you know, and where you could really make some real money. The game has really changed.
Well,
And what do you feel about that?
well, first of all, the digital age has a lot to do with that as well.
Okay.
Like I just said, the convenience. People capitalize on that convenience, and most people observe that and they say, well, he's not carrying anything and he's only charging this. We'll go with him. Not realizing whether he sounds good or not. We always talked about this from way back.
Right.
I can remember we having conversations about it's not what you have, it's how you use it.
Right.
Things like that started it. And before you know it, everybody started lowballing each other.
Right.
It's a shame because, this is an actual craft. It's an art. And this is something that needs to be respected, okay? And a lot of people lose sight of respecting the art. So I feel this way. You get what you pay for,
Right.
period. That's it. You're going to get what you pay for. That's the way I look at that. So
So in this music game, compared to where you're at right now, where would you see yourself at least 5 years from now? Or where would you want to be?
still doing it, number one. I'd like to get into producing.
Okay.
I'd like to get into the producing thing. I'm fascinating with doing remixes. I'm very fascinated with that.
As long as you've been out here, I'm surprised you haven't.
Well, it's like being mobile, and I have to say I've been blessed to be consistent with it and be busy. Phone's always ringing. Thank you, Lord. But, that has a lot to do with it. Plus my work schedule.
Right.
My grind is downright disrespectful. And I mean that in a joking matter,
Right.
but it's serious.
Okay.
It's very serious. And if I had time, I would have been done that. But I've always been fascinated with doing remixes and things like of that nature.
Come by my studio, man.
I'm a phone call away.
Let's come on through, man.
Okay.
It's nice to have you here
Hey,
because
thank you.
I'm here daydreaming about the past experiences we had.
Yeah.
As far as being personal
Sure.
and dealing with the music industry,
Sure.
and it's good to know that we're still here
Thank God.
because
Thank God.
a lot of people that we dealt with back in those days,
I'm
they're
not with
not
us.
here or something's wrong with them.
Yeah.
I want to shout out to my boy Baby Ray. He was my partner back in the days, and it's unfortunate what he's going through right now, but we don't judge people, we lift them up.
Yes.
And I say that
Amen.
because in his situation right now, it could be the same person that can actually save your life. So we're not going to be pointing fingers at nobody, especially in his situation. And I hope that one day that God bless him and he rises again.
He will. He will.
So
will.
have you been around the old way lately, or have you seen any old friends of ours?
Well, Sneaky B was in the park
Okay.
with my cousin Big Mike and Mike C. We all got together and did the park, which was so cool because that brought back a lot of memories.
Okay.
And that felt so good to do that.
Right.
Because we haven't done that in over 30 years, where we all get together and just bang out, and it was so nice, man. It was lovely. We had a great time, man. Great time.
Also, I want to shout out to my man John Mackey, because John's always supporting everybody. So I
Yes,
definitely giving you a big
yes,
shout out, John.
yes.
I love you, brother.
John,
You know,
love you too, bro.
yeah,
That's the homie there.
That's
the homie there.
When we talked about St. John's Park back in the days, man, we talk about DJ Blue,
Oof.
Charisma Funk, Grandmaster Flowers,
App.
App. It's funny because this has been a long journey for a lot of people, especially for
Yeah.
me, from where I came from. And it's like it's good to know that at least we still got some good people around us.
Yeah. Thank God for that, because ooh,
So if you had to actually change the game right now, how would you actually go about it? I mean, to make it better. If you know about if you see any flaws or anything to actually generate it to be a little bit more perfection, how would you actually do it?
Well, number one, I try to bring everybody together and create some kind of unity.
Okay.
Let's not cut each other's throat. There's money out here for everybody. Just like they used to say with the drug game, and I hate to use that as a reference.
Okay.
They used to say with the drug game, there's money out here for everybody.
Right.
No, it's the same difference, but like I said, I hate to use that reference.
Okay.
But there's money out here for everybody. Why don't we stop undercutting each other? Why don't we get together and give each other work?
Right.
If I have something extra, because sometimes I'll book 2 and 3 parties for the same day.
Right.
I might be able to do 2 depending on the time and scheduling.
Right.
I don't mind passing off one.
That reminds me. Thanks for doing a party that I booked you to.
Thank you for giving me that. And we had a good time with that.
I could imagine.
We had
I
a good
couldn't be
time
there. I
with
had to
that.
play somewhere else.
We had a good time.
And I was running late. In fact, I was in the studio.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get there, but unfortunately I couldn't make it.
Yeah.
But I thank you again.
No.
And you see, that's
No
those
worries.
are the
No
sort of
worries.
things that we as individuals should actually do.
Yeah.
Look out for each other. And like most guys would have been like, well, hey man, you got to give me at least 10% of what you made. And that's so cocky. Man.
See, now, me, myself, I don't mind breaking off something for
Right.
you, but don't tell me I have to do it.
Nah. To me, that's not good.
Don't tell me I have to
To me,
do
that's
it.
that shows a low level of your character.
If I'm doing it, it's coming from the goodness of here.
Yeah. Because it happened to me before.
Yeah.
I did a party and he's like saying to me, well, he wants this and he wants that. And I'm like, really? I think that was so
Yeah.
demeaning, man, And I think that was like an insult to my character,
Well, you also have to look at it this way as well. You know the term business is business.
Yeah, true that. But
It's business.
hey,
so
if you're a wholehearted person, I don't think you should even go that route.
I know.
I mean, that's
I
me
know.
personally.
I know. I know.
But I'm glad that I'm at a professional stage now where I don't even have to even go through all that.
Yeah, because I can remember you giving me work on plenty of occasion. I'd be like, "What you want?"
What do I say?
I'll ask you.
I'll let you
What do
later.
you want? Be like, "Yo, just rock that out,
Yeah, that's
man,
it.
and I'll talk to you when I talk to you."
Really, because
know?
that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It might be a time where I might have a dry spell, and you might come along and say, "Well, Ty,
Yeah.
that's how the way it works."
Yeah.
So, tell your viewers how they can get in contact with you.
Okay, my contact number, if you're writing down, area code 347-517-0354. You can also reach me at Dr. Anjay, DRARNJAY, at hotmail.com and gmail.com as well. But mainly Hotmail, that's where I do most of my correspondence and bookings and stuff like that as well. You can also check me out on Artist Trove. I don't know if I still have that slot. I might still have a slot there. Hopefully I do. I used to have a website. I'm going to put another one back up because I think it's time to do that again.
Right.
So, yeah, pretty much. That's about
And
it.
the brother rocks the house.
I try.
He don't try. He
I
do.
try. I try.
I can say that 100%.
I try. But
You
thank
know.
you for that compliment.
Oh, most
But I
definitely.
try. I try.
Man, I'm going to thank you again for being on my show,
Hey,
man.
thank you for
And,
having me. Thank you. I mean
it's
this
been a
from the heart,
pleasure.
my brother.
It's
Thank
been a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you so
It's
much.
really been a pleasure just sitting back and looking at all the memories. And
Hey, we can go on and on.
Oh,
but,
yeah, man.
But time does not allow us to do that.
and stuff.
But thank you for having me on.
Yeah, like I said, I have a new show coming up, which is actually going to be shot March 22nd. And I'm looking forward to my viewers actually tuning in on that, and I hope that everybody got a lot out of this. This was actually a personal show for me because of the status that me and his brother have as far as a relationship, from growing up and doing things together, music-wise, and where he's at today, and he's still here, and I'm going to say this, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. I'm the host, owner of T-Lowe Video Productions. And I thank everybody for tuning in. And, On, you got anything else to say before we sign off?
Oh, yes. I want to say hello to my lovely wife, Marina. We've been together for 22 years. Had a lot of ups and downs, but hey, she's always kept me grounded. She always kept me focused. And I just want to say hi, baby. And my mother, God bless her.
Oh, yes, Mom.
Mom, she's still
Yeah.
with us, boy.
Yeah.
98 years old, boy. I thank God every
And that's a
day,
good
and I
thing, man.
appreciate her
Yeah.
so much, boy. When I see her, you know, I appreciate her more and more.
And so there it goes. And we're about to sign off. And like I said, this is another T-Lowe video production. And y'all have a nice day.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
My assignment, my calling is to inspire, uplift.
You have to make sure your people are partying.
All I want to do is just bring joy to the dance floor and watch people dance.
T-Lowe, 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 T-Lowe.
DJ Tyrone Lowe.